Well, life is full of challenges, ups and downs. Some people handle the adversity better than others. You could say they're living like champions. Scott Wimberly, the author of Playbook of Champions, is here to tell us more. Scott, thanks so much for being with us today, buddy.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Now, here's the book. I'm going to go ahead and hold it up here, and we can probably get a shot of it. That way the folks at home can look. Playbook of Champions. It's here on a gridiron. We see the play up here at the top, and the football and the helmet down there at the bottom. But this really isn't a sports book, is it?
Well, it's kind of a combination. If you want to read a book about football, this is your book. If you want to read a book about how to develop yourself as a champion, whether you've ever played a game of football or ever seen a football, this is your book. So basically we took what they call self-help, I guess, or motivation, inspirational, encouragement, that type book, but I put it on the skeleton of a football team, you might say, the outline. Because in Alabama, southwest Alabama, of course, even where I grew up down in South Alabama, football is the primary, sport.
Right.
But I've got softball coaches, basketball coaches, gymnastics coaches, because it pertains more about the developing the champion than it does really about football. You're not going to learn a whole lot about football reading the book, though.
Tell us a little bit about what are the characteristics of a champion on and off the field. What qualities do they have?
Well, the ones that we talked about in there, the list is endless, but we took perseverance, being able to stick it out, teamwork, integrity, your attitude, things like that all factor into developing a champion.
Now, obviously, a team that isn't very good can practice and work together and become better. Right. And they have something to play for at the end of the season, hopefully. But what about just people, walking around, everyday people? We're not football players. We're not athletes. Right. How do we become champions? How do we develop those qualities that you just mentioned?
Well, I guess the Army kind of sums it up best, be the best you can be. And I've learned through the years not to compare myself to other people. I got to be the best I can be and what I was created and put here to do, because I believe that everybody has a specific purpose, destiny, if you will, for being here. And it's going to include other people, but you have a purpose for being here. And the only way you're going to do that is if you do the right thing day in and day out. You're not going to be perfect, but you can do the right thing, be a champion each day.
All right, super. And Scott, really quickly, this is a fictional book, correct? It's got characters in it.
All right.
One named Aggie that you've written about.
Aggie's
before.
in it. Yeah, this is the second book that he's in. He's in this along with Coach Grimes and the Radville Bears.
The Radville Bears.
Radville Bears. My dad's name was Conrad. Everybody called him Rad.
Okay.
So we got Radville, and my mother was a Leroy Bear. So I had to include the Bears for her.
All right, super. Scott, thank you so much for being with us today.
You.
And best of luck with the book.
Thank you.
You can find out more about Scott, the books he's written, or order a copy of Playbook of Champions online at scottwimberly.com.